Dr. Mark Cooksey from ABx Group. Now, Mark, viewers will remember last year we had a very hot countdown to you producing your first sample of MREC, Mixed Rare Earth Carbonate, through ANSTO. And now we have a second sample from a slightly different flow sheet. Tell us about it.
Yeah, that's right. So we produced our maiden MREC, about 70 grams late last year. It was a really good quality, high in heavy rare earths and very low in impurities. And now we've just had ANSTO produce a second MREC, a bit over 100 grams. And in fact, the proportion of heavy rare earths is even higher. And the amount of the key impurities, being aluminium and iron, is even lower. In fact, iron was basically undetectable in the MREC.
So the first sample was great, and your customers that were trying it out were very pleased. What prompted this second sample?
Yeah, so the first one was deliberate. We wanted an MREC to send to customers. The second one was a bit opportunistic. So as separately we reported, we did some column leach test work late last year and early this year. That was as a test of the potential for heap leaching. And at the end of that, we had this really good quality solution, which we said, well, it's actually a simple step to turn that into an MREC. We've got customers wanting MREC to evaluate. Let's get ANSTO to do that step as well. So that's what they've just done over the last month or so. So great. Now we've got over 150 grams of top quality MREC.
Would you elaborate on who you're giving these samples to and what they're doing with them?
Yeah, so we're talking to a range of potential customers in North America, Japan, South Korea, Europe. So they would be separation plants that would take our MREC and then separate it into the individual rare earth oxides. So the one that we can talk publicly about is ALCORE, because they're based in Canada. We've got an MOU with them. And so it's companies like we've sent a sample to ALCORE, for example, and 10 grams, and we've done that with other customers as well. And with that amount of material, the first simple test is then to just do an independent check of the composition. And also some of them can do a little tiny sort of processing check to go, yes, we think that would process well in our separation process.
So then looking forward, what is next for this side of the business and indeed the Deep Leads project in North Tasmania, where this rare earth is coming from?
Yeah, so there's two things in parallel right now. One is engineering studies. So that's to say, okay, we've got this great resource, we can produce a good quality MREC, everything looks pretty good on paper, but what's the ideal process design? How much is it going to cost? And what's the capital cost and operating cost? We're doing that work right now, and that's why we did the column leach test work, for example, because that feeds into those engineering studies. And the other is the engagement with customers. We're getting, we've had some anecdotal feedback for some customers, but we're looking for some formal feedback. And in parallel with those engineering studies, can we start turning some of those MOUs into more deeper engagement between us and our customers?
Well, Mark, I have to say congratulations once again on a second sample in under a year. It's been really fun watching this process, and now we're getting to the pointy end. So wishing you all the best of luck.
Great. Thanks again, Danielle.